Right, welcome back to another Rust and Custom production, and today we'll be building, building Bandai's 172 scale Y-Wing. This is the first Bandai kit I've built, so let's take a look at the sprues. I noticed they had this sort of different colours on one sprue type thing. I thought that was quite cool, so if you didn't want to paint it, you could do that. The clear parts, yellow parts, black parts, and white parts are all on the one sprue. And you got, I believe they're the decals. There was decals and stickers. Yeah, there were the stickers, and these are the decals. The decals are quite thick, and there is a lot of excess carrier film, and I wouldn't really use the decal for the canopy. I'd just either go with the sort of solid part or the just paint route. But the detail's very nice, as you can see here. So it's all very crisp. That's the cockpit tub. And you don't need any glue for this kit either, but I did use glue. The canopy parts are very clear. I didn't use the canopy parts though, I just used the sort of non-glass parts because I like them more and it saved me masking them up. Okay, so we have the laser beams. These are optional, so I'm not sure if I'm going to add them yet. There you can see the exquisite detail, and you might be able to even recognise some kit parts as there's, but there's the deck of a King Tiger there. You can see the fans and stuff, but then, yeah, so there's loads of other stuff. There's radial engines, there's shovels off of tanks. Here's more of the parts, the sort of front, and then my figure had some sort of error. He was very flat. Didn't realise this till later, but it should probably be like full size. Well, that's what I've seen that other people have. I've never seen this before, but yeah, obviously an error there. You get two pilots though. You get the Return of the Jedi one and the sort of classic Rebel pilot, and I used the Return of the Jedi pilot. And then this is the next sprue. These are the sort of blue-grey parts, so you can see these nice details that hide in front of the engines. If you leave the sort of dome parts in front of the engines off, you get to see that. And then there's the solid canopy that I used. And then here's the guns, and I believe the sort of place where R2D2 sits, or R5D4 or whatever, just an R2 unit or an astromech droid, shall we say. And then we have the stand, and again, very nice detail on this. I think it's meant to be one of the trenches from the Death Star. I've not built it yet, so I don't know how well it supports the model, but there's certainly some nice detail on there. And I believe this is a duplicate sprue bag, so I'm only going to show you one. And these are parts for the engines. So you can see all the nice details here. All those parts have come off the sprue on that end. I wasn't sure why that was. And you also get 4 astromech heads, so 2 R5 versions and 2 R2 versions. So I thought that was quite nice. I think it's just because of the duplicate sprue. Now, I didn't take this out of the bag. These are all the pipes and stuff. These are very delicate, and I didn't want to break any. I managed to not break a single one whilst building it, but I had to disassemble part of it for painting, and I did break one of the tubes then. So yeah, you probably will break one. And in the instructions, I didn't like the instructions. There were this huge page that had been folded up, and so it was a real pain to. You had to sort of get a whole other table to lay it out on, but they're easy to follow. So yeah, one side of it was in color, the other side wasn't. So I don't know why that was. Then I began building. I cut out the cockpit parts. Now, there wasn't any sort of reference to color, cockpit color, and I just painted it, a Tamiya XF3 German grey, and then, yes, but it should actually be a sort of lighter grey, so dry brushed with Tamiya XF82 Ocean Grey. Then I used XF19 to pick out some boxes, according to the decals that were provided for the cockpit. And then Vallejo metal colour aluminium was used to paint in the dials, just with a fine brush. And then I made my own clear paints by using a sort of standard paint and mixed it with gloss varnish, and that worked quite well. I did use one clear paint, but for the green and yellow I didn't have any clear paint, so I just mixed up my own, and this proved quite effective. And cut out the sort of upper and lower sections of the nose. I used Flory Models sanding sticks to do this, to clean them up, and then I sprayed the pilot in XF82 Ocean Grey, and then painted his helmet flat white. Went for the Return of the Jedi pilot, as I said before. I did originally paint up the original pilot, you can see him down there on the workbench, but I wasn't really happy with the results, so I thought I'd have another go with the other pilot. I used a Revel white as well, just to touch it up in some areas, but yeah. I'd probably best be getting some Citadel paints, but I don't have any of them. And I painted his boots and stuff. And then painted his face with the buff colour. And then picked out a wee hose on him in light grey, well, sky grey as Tamiya calls it. And then I trimmed down the carrier film on the decal for the pilot's head, because it was way too big. And then soaked it in water and used microset and microsol to get it to bed down. And then I painted his visor after a coat of silver and X26 clear orange. I then painted the sort of area where the cannons go in black, and also used the rest of the black to make a wash for the cockpit. All the parts fitted very well, there was no filler needed on this model, or sanding for that matter. And then got to work on the body shell. This all fitted very well, and it was clever the way they did it. They built it so all the seams would be hidden by other parts. So the two halves of the body, there was more parts that went on the side that covered up all the joins. For some of the parts, like the wings here, I only filmed the build of one of them, and did the other one off camera, because I didn't want it to just be repetition all the time. See here, I've got the instructions on my lap. And then about down with the pipe work. There's about 50 or so of these pipes, well, maybe 30 to 50, I'm not entirely sure, but it did take quite a while, but because of the fit of them, it was still, I never sort of lost interest. They just fitted so well. Again, I didn't film all the pipes going on as it would be quite a lot of repetition. Again, I was using the fluoride sanding sticks, mainly the green one and the blue sponge. Then I began work on one of the engine pods. This fit really well. There was like 4 parts to the outside of it, and then these seams were covered up by the sort of don't know what you call them, but the sort of spars that hold the back of it on. And these were actually, you could tell they were made out of Saturn V bodies. Well, I think it's second stage bodies. Note, you should leave the grey part off, then paint it separately because it was a pain to get that painted. And I ended up having to disassemble it. See here, it's almost done. I did leave off some parts because it would be painted different colours, like the yellow striping on the nose. And the final piping work is going on. So I'd like to say thanks for watching this video. Part 2, which will be the painting and weathering, will be coming soon. So yeah, just take a look at the photos as they come. Bye.